What's the best thing about planet Earth?
Was it a lover, or was it a dream? Or was it something more than what it seemed?
In the era of the modern superhero flop, DC's new trailer for Superman brought me something that I haven't had in a long time: hope that a superhero movie might be good. The marketing campaign for Superman has been abysmally bad since the movie's announcement, and has been a very big ego trip for the director James Gunn. Every trailer, every behind the scenes, every featurette, every poster has all been advertising how much James Gunn has been involved with this Superman, so much to the point that the movie has been essentially dubbed James Gunn's Superman. The first teaser trailer looked pretty good and had great music, but there was no dialogue, and it gave us no real guidance to what the plot of the movie was going to be. Due to the amount that James Gunn's name has been crammed down the throat of us viewers, I was actually beginning to lose a lot of faith that this movie was going to be any good. That, mixed with a lot of plot leaks by different people who have seen different test screens, really started to drag down my expectations of this movie. Whether it be a long, drawn-out argument between Lois and Clark, or a travel to an interdimensional realm where a band of monkeys was tweeting out #supershit. And no, that's not a joke. #supershit was in an original cut of this movie and was being spread by misinformation monkeys trained by Lex Luthor in an interdimensional portal area.
Right.
Then pairing that with the recent lackluster superhero films that have come out, whether it be Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, or the show Daredevil Born Again, I just began to lose more and more faith that DC was going to be able to pull this thing off with Superman actually being good. My opinion on that completely changed when this trailer dropped. I absolutely loved this trailer, and it gave me goosebumps, which is this is the first time I've gotten goosebumps watching a trailer in years. Everything about it, from the cast, the costumes, the lighting, the coloring, and most importantly the music, really helps draw this effect out for me. The trailer opens with the beginning of that, what turns into a long drawn-out argument that we've heard about from the leaks with Lois and Clark, that is working as Lois interviews Superman regarding his recent events around the world. This scene in the trailer is where a lot of my initial hope for this film comes from, because we get a true representation of what David Corenswet's Superman really believes. Superman embodies three main things: truth, justice, and the American way. It's the iconic saying from the comics, but more importantly above that, he also is the embodiment of hope. The one thing I loved about the original teaser trailer is that shot of the kid mounting the flag up in the middle of the battlefield, saying Superman's name, because it shows that embodiment of hope type thing. We see that again in this trailer, and it seems like that is part of this war that Superman helped break up, as he mentions in this trailer. The scene where David Corenswet passionately yells out, "People are going to die."
Consider the consequences.
People were going to die!
Is great as well, because it also shows us, it shows his morals. He wasn't there for personal glory. He wasn't there because the American government told him to. He was there because it was the right thing to do, and that's what we're missing in superhero movies. Of those three big things, truth, justice, and the American way doesn't necessarily mean that it's what the government wants him to do, or it's what the president tells him to do, or it's what the Pentagon tells him to do. He does those things because they're the values that are instilled with him as someone who grew up in a small farm town in America, even though he's Superman. The other thing that I absolutely love about this trailer is the coloring. It's all bright and flashy. Just look at this poster compared to a Superman comic. And then, if you compare that to the Man of Steel marketing, which is all more dark and brooding, a very different approach to Superman, I really love how this one is. I like if we save the dark and brooding stuff for Batman over here, and the light and colorful and colors is for Superman over here. That's what I really do like about this, is it feels like this trailer is energetic and fun, but also being a serious movie. This actually feels like a comic panel brought to life almost, with all these vibrant colors. The other big thing that is kind of a worry for some people is that this isn't really an origin, because it's clearly already an established universe, as we see with all of the other superheroes and characters like that showing up in these trailers. But I honestly don't mind that. I think most people know superheroes' origins. We don't necessarily need to see all of that. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of Superman's origin in this movie, but overall, I don't know that we need it, and I kind of like having an established universe. Like, we don't necessarily need to see the origins of all these characters in this one movie to understand what they are. Now, why do I think this is really a positive shift for DC's marketing? Like I said earlier, DC has been very centered around James Gunn in the marketing.
James didn't know that Superman was in his future. He wasn't sure that that was the one he should be doing. And then he called me one day and he said, I have a way in.
We saw it with Creature Commandos, where James Gunn was edited into every single scene, self-animated into that show. And also, James Gunn was on the art of a Superman variant cover. James Gunn's ego has been absolutely tripping throughout the entire marketing of the show, so it's actually very good to see this piece of marketing be more about the movie and not about how it was directed by James Gunn. I'm personally very excited to see Superman on the screen again. We have not seen a true Superman since Man of Steel, and even then, there's an argument that that's not a true Superman. I actually quite enjoy the suit. I think David Cornsweet looks pretty good in it. I don't love the collar, and I also don't love the S. I wish it was a little bit more kind of how it was designed in the Man of Steel, with that, with a little bit more detail in the S. But overall, I do like the suit. I like the colors on it. And like I said many times, I just love the colors in this trailer. It's very bright and vibrant. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a dark, brooding Batman movie with Superman as the main character. I like Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I think he looks very good, and he looks like Lex Luthor. I think Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane is going to be very good in this movie. I like the romances in this trailer. It's a true loving relationship between Lois and Clark, as we see in this trailer, yet they also are going to have these disagreements and arguments that we see in the opening of the trailer. I think Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner could be very interesting, and we'll have to wait and see how that plays out, as well as Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl. Now, overall, I hope that Superman is amazing, and due to Captain America Brave New World being terrible, Thunderbolts being just kind of alright, and it looking like Fantastic Four might not be all that good, Superman really has the most potential to be the best superhero film of the year. And for that, I really hope it is, because as much as I like the Fantastic Four as a concept, I would much prefer an Amazing Superman movie over Fantastic Four if I had to choose. So overall, I hope this is a success. I'm planning on seeing this in IMAX on July 11th as soon as it comes out. I think it's going to look amazing if this trailer does any justice to it. I think the visual effects that we do get to see look pretty good. I do think that if there are some long drawn out scenes like we've heard in some of these screen test reports, that it could work as long as there's really good dialogue written in there, but that's a very difficult task these days, it seems like. So overall, the Superman trailer does what I want a Superman trailer to do. Gives me hope and makes me think that the movie is going to be amazing. Thanks for watching.